All right, so here's the problem. What we're really trying to do here is, as you can see over here, multiply a mixed number. By the way, a mixed number is something along the lines of 3.5. Notice this is 3 and 4. Don't confuse that with this is just an example. Just an example right there, 3.5. We call that a mixed number. I guess the mix is it's got a integer, which we can talk about, and then it's got a fraction, right? What is an integer is interesting. Goes into sets of numbers. We could get to there. But right now, let's just find the area of this rectangle. And notice how this is represented visually. So we're going to look at several methods of doing this problem. One is the geometric version right here. And then I want to show you another thing going on, and that is so another one I wanted to show you is using a calculator, and you can go to Desmos.com and you have a free scientific calculator. It's free. But of course, like when you're in school, you might need a physical calculator because they don't want you on the internet during a test, right? But anyway, notice they have these varying different calculators. We could go into all of these, especially the geometry tool. But let's just take a look at the scientific calculator. And ultimately, we want to get to also the handwritten way of doing this. But let's start here. One, notice Desmos that it will convert a fraction into a decimal very easily. And by the way, notice this toggle over here, I don't convert it to a fraction. So like if I put in 0.25, notice over here it will convert it to a fraction. But anyway, we have this equivalency simply using the calculator. And so, here's one way, 3.25, we're representing the 3 1/4 units here, and then we'll multiply that times the 3 units. And then there we have the solution, 9.75 square units. However, write your answer as a whole or mixed number. So if it's a whole
Write
number,
your answer as a whole or mixed number.
Okay, thank you for explaining. By the way, you can use these things right here. So if it's a 9.75, that's a decimal. Let's turn it into a mixed number. Okay, that's what we would call a improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. But if you remember how we do that, we do 39 divided by 4. So basically that means we have a 9, right? We have a 9 as our leading coefficient, and it should be this other part. And when we take the 9 into there, so we take the 9, and then it would be this fraction right here. We could convert that to a fraction, but see, here is your denominator. And so see, what we would have left over here would be 0.75. How did I get that? Because it's right here, right? And we can kind of tell that the denominator is going to be 4, and we can recognize that this is actually, oops, I'm trying to be creative here with my video. 2.2525, which is these down here in the graph, right? So notice if we just did 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3. We get 9er. And then now let's do the area down here. And then that we would be adding that in there, right? It appears to be 1, 2, 3, units, so 3 times, and then these are 1/4 units, which is matched right here. And there we get 975. So, long story short, our answer should be, and I guess I type it in somehow.
Write your answer as a whole or mixed number.
Hold on a second, let me figure out how I enter in a fraction here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and record this and see. I thought maybe this would open up some things. Oftentimes you probably have seen this before, where you get something like that, and then you would put your fractions into there, and it would output something mathy. A lot of calculators will do that. But here I'm sort of running into a problem how Desmos wants us to enter this, so let's see what it likes. I do have 9 3/4, but I don't see any like fraction button. Let's give it a go. Oh, it said good work, so we did do it correctly. Great job.